Do you think oxygen is a vertebrate? Of course you do. There is many kinds of important events back then in the prehistoric life. But there is one event from one of them that is very interesting to talk about. It was the beginning of oxygen get accumulated in the Earth's atmosphere. Well, this event is known as GOE, which is represented as Great Oxidation Event. GOE or Great Oxidation Event is where the chain chemical reaction on the surface of Earth's atmosphere happen.
The Great Oxidation Event happened when there is the ancient microscopic life in the Earth back then that produced oxygen through the process of photosynthesis. These microbes are called cyanobacteria.
The Great Oxidation Event has triggered an explosive growth in the diversity of mineral, with many elements occurring, one or more oxidized form, near the Earth's surface. At the same time, when free oxygen starts to accumulate in the ocean, there is change to occur in the composition of Earth crust. Oxygen has provided the most energy to plant, animal, and microbe during respiration.
Most of the bacteria thriving on the earth are anaerobic, literally metabolizing their food without oxygen. Cyanobacteria, sometimes we call a blue-green algae, are photosynthetic. They convert sunlight into energy and produce oxygen as waste product. For a while, as they produce free oxygen as their waste, iron would bond with it and the environment could keep up with their production. At some point, through as cyanobacteria flourish, the minerals and other zinc become saturated. They could no longer absorb the oxygen being produced. It built up in the water, in the air. To the other bacteria living in the ocean, which is anaerobic bacteria, oxygen was toxic. A die-off began, a mass extinction killing countless species of bacteria.
As you can see here, there is evidence that before oxygenation, rock on Earth contained mineral called olivine. This evidence shows that olivine that comes into contact with water, it initiates chemical reaction that consume oxygen and lock it up. The climate starts change after a large amount of free oxygen that start building up. As the photobacteria keep breeding, they use up more and more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. As we all do know that carbon dioxide use is for a greenhouse gas. So, as its level went down, so did the temperature also.
The Great Oxidation Event occurred during 2.3 billion years ago. Based on the research, the molecular machine responsible for photosynthesis, and they found that photosynthesis may have been occurred more than 3.4 billion years ago. This is long before oxygen or cyanobacteria were thought to have existed on Earth. So, that means they must have been predecessors such as an ancient bacteria that has undergo evolution to carry out photosynthesis and produce oxygen. With the beginning oxygen that produced by anaerobic bacteria with the reacting of iron, the ocean turned deep black hell red as the sea filled with iron oxide, or known as rust. In fact, you can still see exactly when and where this happened with the stratigraphy knowledge, where the strata known as banded. The iron formation were the huge swath of rust still out of ocean to form red-brown layer rock.